Ladies and gentlemen of the 12th District, welcome to the House of Representatives. Here we are in the rotunda. It's a little noisy out here today because all the action is happening in those chambers on each side of us. Sorry we missed last week, but the fact is we put in almost 60 hours in the Appropriations Committee, sometimes working as late as 10 and 11 o'clock at night. Long days, and now we've switched to the floor and we're doing the same thing, 10 o'clock every night, running bill after bill after bill. This is the time of season I always kind of wonder what's really happening here. Can all these bills really be that important? Is all this regulation necessary? I think the answer is probably no. There is an amazing amount of bills coming out of the Senate, more than out of the House, amazing number coming out of the House, flying every which way. In the end, we'll see what flies and what dies, but for the most part, I see an awful lot that doesn't really need to be addressed. Let me explain something about appropriations. You may see that I vote no on a lot of appropriations bills. Well, I've learned that if you vote yes on an appropriations bill that has an actual fiscal note or say appropriations, and it passes out of the House, then it has to go into the budget. You basically have appropriated that money. Well, folks, we're having trouble covering what we've got. We have to pay the bills we have, take care of the employees we have, and do the things that we said we would do first before we start new programs. There is over $1 billion in new programs coming through the Appropriations Committee that have no chance of really being funded. And if they are forced in through a yes vote into the budget, then something else has to go. Something that's currently existing has to be kicked out. So if you're wondering why there's so many no votes from me, it's because I don't believe we should start anything new until we make sure that we can fund what we have. We have some big decisions ahead on education and the McCleary situation. We have an initiative hanging out there that now has a cost of over $6 billion for class size. We're going to have to deal with that. And we also have to try to maintain the current operations throughout the state. We have a lot to do in the next few weeks, and hopefully we'll find some agreement so we can get out of here in 105 days. But I guess my message for today is we do two things here. We regulate and we tax. And frankly, in my mind, we do too much of both of it. We really do. And it's not just general taxes, it's fees. There is fees on top of fees. There's bills on top of bills. It all adds up, and it just means the government gets bigger and more bureaucratic, and in most cases, less efficient, I would say. And the regulations, why anybody would want to be in a small business in this state anymore, I really question. It's gotten out of hand. We'll do our best to roll that back and try to make it a free nation again. That's what made us great. That's what got us to where we are and why we are the greatest nation. But to stay there, we've got to reverse course in terms of our government and where it's going. This is Cary Condotta, your 12th District Representative. Glad to be here representing you here in the wonderful rotunda and the House of Representatives. We'll be back next week to tell you more about what goes on from here. We're just about done on the House floor with these bills. That is kind of the halfway point. And then we flip everything over and start to listen to what the Senate has put out. You'll be hearing more about that. And then, of course, a few weeks from now, how it all gels up in the end. Let's hope that we can contain some of these incredible regulations and taxes that are facing us. We'll see you soon.